That's right. I'm back. Part 2 of Satanism Revealed. Yesterday we left off with the quotes from the Supreme Commander of Freemasonry, Albert Pike. So let us continue. I want to make sure. I now will quote the Supreme Commander, Albert Pike. The origin of the temporal and spiritual streams of evolution is as follows. Jehovah created Eve, a human being. The Lucifer spirit, Samael, united with Eve and begat a semi-divine son, Cain. As he left Eve before the birth of the child, Cain was the son of a widow and a serpent of wisdom. A what? A serpent of wisdom. Then Jehovah created Adam, a human being like Eve. Adam and Eve united and begat a child, human like themselves, whose name was Abel. Jehovah, being the lunar god, is associated with the water. Hence, there was enmity between Cain, the son of fire, and Abel, the son of water. So Cain slew Abel, and Abel was replaced by Seth. In time and through generations, the sons of Cain became the craftsmen of the world, skilled in the use of fire and metal. Their ideal was male, Harim Abif, the master workman. The sons of Seth, these are the initiates of the flame, on the other hand, became the church. That was an error. The sons of Seth, on the other hand, the ones we were just talking about, the sons of Cain, are the initiates of the flame, and the sons of Seth, on the other hand, became the churchmen. So what you see here is what they believe or what they teach, okay, is the conflict between Christianity and the Gnostics, the Kabbalistic Freemasons, okay? This is the tale that they give their initiates. The sons of Seth, on the other hand, became the churchmen, upholding the feminine ideal, the Virgin Mary, and ruling their people by the magic water placed at their temple doors. For those of you who never understood, when you go to a church, when you go into the church, what's the first thing you see? You see that little bowl of water. Sometimes it's on the wall in a little bowl, or sometimes it's in its own little container. That's the origin of that. Placed at their temple doors. Various attempts have been made to unite the two streams of humanity and emancipate them from their progenitors, Jehovah and the Lucifer spirits. What do we know about spirits? Energy. Spirits is another term for energy. With this end in view, the symbolic temple was built according to the instruction of Solomon, the son of Seth, and the molten sea was cast by Harim Abif, the son of Cain. But the main object was frustrated, as we have seen, and the attempt at unification proved abortive. Moses, the divinely appointed leader of the old dispensation, afterward reborn as Elijah, looks like they believe in reincarnation here, guided humanity through its ages of infancy and was finally embodied as John the Baptist, the herald of the new dispensation, the Christian era. At the same point in time, the other actors in the world drama, this is where the motto, "the world is a stage," comes from, were also brought to birth that they might serve their brothers. At the casting of the molten sea, Harim Abif had been given the baptism of fire by Cain, which freed him from the Lucifer spirits. He was also given a new hammer. Hammer and sickle, anyone? And a new word. When the new era dawned, he was born as Lazarus, the widow's son of Nain. That could be a typo, but I'm reading it the way it is. So just remember, so it could be Nain, it could be Cain. And raised by the strong grip of the lion's paw to the rank of immortals. Solomon, the son of Seth, was reborn as Jesus. Let me repeat that. I know you never heard this before, but you have to understand and see, you have to know what the enemy believes. You can't go to war with an enemy if you don't know what they think, what they believe. You're going to fight a losing battle if you fight someone just out of the blue without knowing their weaknesses, without knowing how they feel, what they actually are about. So let me read it again. And it doesn't matter if you accept this, they believe this. Solomon, the son of Seth, was reborn as Jesus. The baptism of water, administered by John as representative of Jehovah, freed him also. He yielded his body at that moment to the descending Christ Spirit and reigned himself with the new leader. And here's like a timeline. Okay, I'll go through it real quick. Evolution under human and superhuman rulers. Lemurian epoch, Atlantean and Aryan epochs, New Galilee. Humanity was double-sexed. Temporal powers, abolition of sex. Male, female, finding the word, each being a king initiates, the word becomes complete. Freemason, children of light, flesh, creative unit, initiation by fire, meaning light, Melchizedek, male ideal, Christ, king and priest, Harem Abith, king and priest, just and holy received, Virgin Mary, baptism of spirit, sacrifice, female ideal, divine ruler, priests, Brahmins, Levites, divine ruler over a human, initiation by water, baptism, purged, humanity, called brotherhood, Abraham's seed, dwelling, typified by, in the new Jerusalem, Abraham, ecclesiastical powers, which means Melchizedek, there shall be peace. Called king of division into races, nations. Take that as you will. Salam, peace. Sex, and I'm saying the word S-E-C-T-S, don't get it confused with the sex, S-E-X. And peace. Hence there is war, oppression, Freemasonry, and Catholicism. They're obsessed with this Catholicism war. Prevailed, slavery. Now, let me stop here for 1 second. I'm reading this, doesn't seem like it makes any sense. But the way it appears on the page, it's like epochs. It's like a chronology. So that's why it doesn't make any sense. But getting back to this Freemasonry and Catholicism, you have to understand that they've already took the initiates of the flame. The Kabbalistic Gnostic Freemasons have already conquered Catholicism. Okay? They've had it for years. They have infiltrated, and they're running the Catholic Church. So make no mistake, that war is over. The battle which they're continuing is against the Catholic people. Okay? That's the battle that they're continuing. That's the battle that they're onward continuing. Okay? Because they have to understand, they have to destroy the belief of the Catholics so that and it's working, but they had to do it through the church. They had to do it through their puppet, the Pope. You see what I'm saying? Notice how this Pope is sympathetic to communism and socialism. Notice how this Pope is allowing all this LGBTQ community stuff to be allowed in the church. You don't believe it, but eventually this Pope is going to allow gays to get married in the church. All of this is going to be accepted. You're going to see all types of crazy shit. As time goes on, the Catholic Church is going to get more and more perverted, more and more corrupt. Okay? And you think they're just allowing it just for the money. No, that's part of it. But the reality is, they want Catholics to leave the Catholic Church. They want people to leave the Catholic Church. They want it. It's a slow look around you. All over the place. The Catholic institution is selling buildings. They are bankrupt. They have to sell property. Okay? They're selling property. I know for a fact that they sell property it looks like to the people, oh, it's because hardly anybody's going. That's part of it. But it's all a plan to slowly, gradually disassemble and eliminate the Catholic Church. And it's happening right now in front of your eyes. Prevailed slavery, Saturn period, unity and diversity. I guess that's the New World Order that's coming in. And Vulcan period, Polarian epoch, love and hate, kingdom of God, heat, Sun period, Venus period, Hyperborean epoch, New Galilee, fire, brotherhood, Moon period, fire, male sex state, Jupiter period, Lemurian epoch, water, female, sex, church, Aryan epoch, Earth period, fire, male, air nations, Atlantean epoch, end of evolution, water, female, earth, races, beginning of evolution. So this must be a timeline of the past. But isn't it very interesting? What is the word Aryan doing in Freemasonic teachings? Isn't that curious? You always thought that Aryan came from the Germans, the National Socialists. Oh, wait a minute. So the National Socialists got it from Freemasonry? Aryan? And there's a lot of talk about races in the Freemasonic teachings. I'm telling you, y'all better wake the fuck up and see that all these organizations are one and the same. Oh boy. Okay. With that over, I will begin with the Ordo Luciferi, or Luciferi. And we begin with the Luciferian holy days. You say holidays, but it comes from holy days. In the Luciferic philosophy, as in any other religion, philosophy we as Luciferians, and I'm just reading it, don't get confused and think I'm talking, okay? I'm reading whoever wrote this. We as Luciferians celebrate our holy days. Many of our holy days are celebrated with a black mass and or another ritual to suit our needs. Luciferians are life-celebrating people. We shun death and live life to the fullest. That is why the unholiest day of the year to any Luciferian, and I want to remind you that Luciferianism is the real esoteric Satanism. This is the hidden Satanism that you're not aware of. We spoke about the exoteric Satanism, the one in your face, the one they present to you, and today we're talking about the real belief system. This is the real religion. That is why the unholiest day of the year to any Luciferian should be his or her own day of birth. It's funny, they say unholiest. Celebrate your birthday with ritual and partying, friends and family, whatever will please you, for this is your day. Other holy days include the spring equinox coming soon this month. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, the spring equinox is the beginning of the new year for these people. Okay? So you thought the new year started. You have to remember one thing. Okay? Don't think of it in reverse. We are domesticated from birth to believe everything that these people say. This is what they do. If you keep this in your head, it becomes much more easier to understand. They tell us the lies, and they practice the reality, the truth. It's not the other way around. What we have come to know is not the truth. It is the lie. Okay? They, hidden in secret, practice the reality. That's what a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand it. Now, I'm not saying what they practice is good, but I'm just telling you how it is. All they do is lie to us. Just about everything you were taught in school is a fucking lie. The spring equinox, Beltane, or, and please forgive me for mispronouncing this, it's a German word, Walpurgisnacht, the summer solstice, Luganast, Luganasad, the autumn equinox, All Hallows Eve, or as we come to know it, Halloween, the winter solstice, Ambolic or Candlemas, and, as I mentioned, one's own birthday. The holidays, aka holy days, are to be celebrated as indicated on the list below. The spring equinox, March 21st, Luciferian crux or New Year's. And you thought the New Year's was on January 1st. Beltane or Walpurgisnacht, April 30th, day of lust and indulgence. And April 30th is also another day. I'm going to leave that to you. Go research what other holy day, supposedly for some people, happens on April 30th. Day of lust and indulgence. The summer solstice, June 21st, day of celebrating one's sense of humor. Oh, and you thought it's all just funny when you watch Saturday Night Live. It's just funny. Yeah, that's how they celebrate humor. They take all serious subject matter, okay, and make it humorous. Make it funny. Everything is funny. Nothing is serious. Oh no. Lugnasad, July 31st, day of the celebration of being the predator, not prey. So they even celebrate the fact that they know they're the predator and we're the prey. You have to know your enemy. These people want to kill you. This is not a joke. Be fucking prepared. You are lambs to the slaughter. The autumn equinox, September 21st. Time to reflect on oneself. Both accomplishments and failures should be reflected on. All Hallows Eve, or Halloween, or Samhain, October 31st, the Fire Festival. The time to settle the score with destruction rituals, curses, and revenge. You know, some say that the biggest time of murder and mayhem, kidnappings, rapes happen on Halloween and Mischief Night. And it's not random, it's organized. The winter solstice, December 21st, the celebration of being self-emancipated. Celebrate your own declaration of freedom. You see, again, these bastards believe freedom is chaos. You understand? Ambolak or Candlemas, January 31st, day of indulgence and fertility. This must be when they start fucking each other to give birth to more of their acolytes. Your birthday, whenever it is, celebration of your birth and a celebration of life and your accomplishments. Now we can get into their beliefs properly. Introduction to the order Luciferi. The order Luciferi, and for short we'll be saying the OD, okay, as an organization is in no way connected with Satanism. Finally the truth. Finally they admit it. You fools believing in the devil with your pentagram, okay? They're telling you you got nothing to do with them. You're a cover that they use. Whenever they get caught doing something, you guys get the blame. You're the cover. You're the fall guys. The order Luciferi, as an organization, is in no way connected with Satanism or with any other religion for that matter. The members of the OD, order Luciferi, are free agents, expressing their own free will and accord, ever striving toward philosophical and spiritual illumination. You're going to hear this word a lot. Illumination. They're obsessed with illumination. Luciferianism has various meanings to various individuals and groups, all of which are viable to their own development, but not so to all. Yet there exists in every Luciferian an inner strength, an intense knowing and determination that there is something great within us, the higher being of the self. Human beings have thus surpassed primitive knowledge and are continuously progressing toward higher states of conscious evolution. And you thought evolution came from scientists, the theory of evolution, Darwin. Where did Darwin get it? From these bastards right here, because Darwin was an initiate of the flame as well. He was a Luciferian. Ever brightening the light of the mind, shining forth on the path of self-evolving conscious awareness. The order Luciferi is a Luciferian order comprised of various sources of illumination. That knowledge, the Luciferic light, Luciferianism, is a chaotic synthesis of intellectual information that can inspire the mind and order which can provide the structure upon which great things are made manifest. Chaos and order. And flow, chaos and order and flow in the balance, and thereby provides the structural reason and solid understanding that can initiate great things. This can be understood in the alchemical instruction of Solve et Caligula. The intellectual illumination of conscious evolution is acknowledged and honored in the body of light known as Lucifer. What was I telling you yesterday? They don't believe in a being called the devil with horns and shit. They teach that's the outer teaching that they teach the initiates when they first join. They really don't believe in a being called Satan, okay? You have to understand this. You have to understand it. Okay. Lucifer is an embodiment of light, an intelligent being that exists beyond our normal perceptive senses and is only sensed and experienced by the higher understanding of the solar being. Who is the solar being? That's the question you have to ask yourself. The darkness that we normally sense is in actuality light, which we cannot see with two eyes but one, as symbolized by the all-seeing eye. The embodiment of Lucifer is experienced in duality only in as much as the human realm of perception is submerged in a duality-based consciousness. Thus can male, female, light, dark, positive, and negative qualities that manifest the whole be experienced in Lucifer. In our work, we intentionally evolve in order to emerge beyond our physical properties into the more sublime realms of energy. What did I say spirits were? Thought and light. The order Luciferi is a consortium of Fellowship of the Ring, crafters, established to provide a strengthening foundation for the advancement of Luciferic light. The members of the OD, Order Luciferi, progress through a series of grades that are designed to heighten the senses, satisfy the soul with the fruits of knowledge, manifest higher consciousness, and illuminate the higher self. There's the self again. Though there exists a degree structure within the OD, it in no way constitutes a hierarchy. The degree structure exists only to provide members of the Ordo Luciferi with a quantifying evaluation of one's own development. All right, time for a water break. Degree structure. 1. Incipus. This is the entry level into the Order Luciferi. This is the ground level. It encompasses the work of the body, its senses, and self-control. Without the capacity to control the self, one will not have the power to progress proficiently in the great work ahead. Man, and you thought these terms were only in the Freemasonry, huh? 2. Adeptus. The Adeptus degree is the second level of self-knowledge, dealing with the emotional being. By the implements of the body and mind, one's works with various energies embodied in the self. Such capacity ensures the ability to manifest using the energy of emotions, and to do so without being controlled by the emotions and thus losing control or focus of one's work. 3. Magus. The third level is a degree of self-mastery, the mind. With the previous levels accomplished, the Magus implements their own thought being to manifest its will, and does so with body and mind as one force toward known objectives. At this level, a member must provide evidence of proficiency in the mastery of oneself and their craft. 4. Primus. Primus? The fourth level is the degree of the mind and the spirit, light being. It is marked by the proficient capacity of self-manifestation, a actively engaging and affecting the world, and reaching beyond the realm or this realm into higher spectrums of being. 5. Animus. A lot of these words are familiar to those of you, huh? Those of you who are familiar with certain movies and certain video games, you're beginning to understand the origin of these terms. 5. Animus. The fifth level is the solar light being level with the degree of self-sovereignty. Lately you've been seeing videos, right, of people going around without license plates, driving without license plates or registrations, or they have fake license plates on their vehicles, or they're going around doing this, they're not going by the law, and what are they saying? I'm a sovereign! I'm a self-sovereign! Self-sovereignty has evolved to the state of a higher conscious being. 6. Illuminatus. The realm of the conscious light of self attainment made manifest by an illuminated being. These conferred degrees, and you notice that they stops at 6. These conferred degrees are earned and not given. The integrity and high standards of our degrees are non-negotiable. And I ask myself, how are they earned? What do they have to do to earn the degrees? Your guess is just as good as mine. Ordo Illuminati. The Ordo Illuminatus. The Ordo Illuminatus is the embodiment of members of the Magus, third degree, who represent the members and oversee the operations and development of the organization and its future. It ensures the integrity and maintains the highest standards for its members and the operations for the order. Within the Order Illuminatus exists one Grand Counselor who serves as head of the order, much like a high priest or priestess would serve within a religious body. And so, let's see. So, if you follow me, if you will, if you don't understand. So, within this order, Luciferi, there's another society. The secret society already has another secret society within it made up of only those who reach their third degree of Magus. And one of them is appointed the high priest. Okay? I'm just clearing that up for those of you who are lost. Lodges. The Ordo Illuminatus is the embodiment of the Black Lodge. Hey, I remember a Black Lodge being mentioned in the more recent Twin Peaks shows. Huh. and acts as the central lodge for the order. Additional lodges exist by various names and are geographically located for more localized meetings, operations, and fellowship. Internet lodges are also available to members who are distant from local lodges. Each lodge is overseen by a third member, that must be a magus member, who serves as its sentinel in regards to the operations and subject matter of that specific lodge. In closing, the order Luciferi is a real-world philosophical order of self-evolving conscious awareness, implementing various techniques and applications on the physical, mental, and higher levels of manifestation. For the real world and the world beyond our current senses and reality perception, do we consciously develop the illuminatus, the higher self from within. Here, within the order Luciferi, may we discover what we are truly capable of. You better be afraid of what they're capable of. They're capable of a lot. They've done it in the past, and they're sure to do it in the future. And they're doing it right now as I speak. Knowledge is power. Understanding the key. Before each stands a door locked by the conscious. All the power in the world cannot open this door without the key. And we have the name of the person who wrote this, Lucian Black 6. My motto is this: it's not money that's the root of all evil. It is knowledge. Knowledge is the root of all evil. Okay. Now we're getting into it. We're going to get into it. Not gonna get ready. What is Luciferianism? Luciferianism is a religion philosophy with few, if any, fixed dogmas. More often, the Luciferian magician is inspired by a multitude of different sources. If there is any dogma at all, it is each person's individual aspiration to imitate and mobilize the force. Dun, 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 dun. Which he or she call by diverse names, but which we, out of convenience, call Lucifer, Phosphorus, and other names. The main idea is to take responsibility for your own life and act as an individual moral agent, using the full potential of your own genius and thereby optimizing your own possibilities. We evaluate reality and act according to circumstances, and therefore do not pretend to obey a fixed set of rules. What seems reasonable today may seem quite different tomorrow. In this regard, fixed dogmas are useless and are, at best, a rule of thumb. And if you see me hesitate sometimes with some of these words, it's because there are typos. So I don't know if this person messed up when they wrote this, or if it was when I got it printed that something happened. So bear with me. In the Neo-Luciferian Church, we adhere to the following simple statements. 1. Lucifer is the deity of illumination, education, and insight. In other words, knowledge. 2. Lucifer is the deity of pride. 3. Lucifer is the deity of freedom. Reckless freedom, if you ask me. 4. Lucifer is the deity of prosperity. 5. Lucifer is a primeval force. And you was wondering where all this talk about the force came from. Where George Lucas got it for his Star Wars films. Because he's an initiate as well, you idiots. They all have a source. They all come from originating source. These keywords are not to be understood as dogma, but they illustrate our concept of the Luciferian energy. The enjoyment of these points are what unites us. Point 1 and 5 have a specific magical meaning, and those are again, Lucifer is the deity of illumination, education, and insight, and Lucifer is a primeval force. That the Luciferian path is also about mystical illumination and not just a philosophical intellectual system, and that magic works from the plane of insight, instinct, and intuition which inhabits the magician. Though it is primarily through the instinctive and intuitive plane magic forces are mobilized. This does not reduce magic to a purely psychological exercise, as many magicians know. Contact to other beings, spirits, gods, angels, or whatever one chooses to call them, are a common experience with many practicing magicians. And here's a little fun fact: when they spell magic in what I'm reading, it's M-A-G-I-C-K. That's how they spell magic. Not the way you think magic is spelled. Not the one they taught you in school. They spell it differently. For centuries, the battle of morality was fought between those who claimed that your life belongs to God and those who claimed that it belongs to your neighbors. Between those who preached that the good is self-sacrifice for the sake of ghosts in heaven, and those who preached that the good is self-sacrifice for the sake of incompetence on earth. And no one came to say that your life belongs to you and that the good is to live it. And that's a quote, apparently, by Ayn Rand from the book Atlas Shrugged. Who is Lucifer, and why Luciferianism? Luciferianism is the study of the hidden occult forces in man and in nature. Neo-Luciferianism is a practical and result-oriented occult path for those with the will and talent of success. Lucifer was a Roman god, but those of you who have watched enough of my videos know that that's a lie. It's even older than that. His name means light bearer. In Roman mythology, he is the herald of Aurora. Aurora! Wasn't it Aurora, Colorado? During a Batman premiere screening that person went about a shooting spree? Are you beginning to connect the dots? Things don't just happen by accident. They are planned. He is the herald of Aurora, the dawn. Lucifer is the personification of the morning star. Don't get it confused with Jesus as the morning star. Okay? I'll explain that one day. The planet Venus. In Greek mythology, Lucifer was called Phosphorus, the shining. The shining? I just gave you a tidbit. Go watch that movie again. The Shining One, herald, to the rosy-fingered Eos, sister of Selene and Helios, the moon and the sun. The dawn which lies between darkness and light is a fitting symbol of initiation. Lucifer, the herald of dawn, becomes the initiator himself. Get ready for this one. Lucifer is an alien element in Christianity. His role in Christianity is due to a mistranslation in the book of Isaiah, and he was later identified with Satan. You see, you Satanists out there, you idiots, just like the Freemasons, you don't really know what you're a part of. You joined an organization without knowing what it's all about. You are nothing but acolytes, fools, tools, just like the socialist pigs and the atheists are. You're being used. See, the ones in power, the real motherfuckers in power, they believe in a God. They know for a fact that God exists. But they don't want you to know this. They want you to do the opposite. You're nothing but tools and puppets. You're being led to the slaughter. Remember what the Jewish version of Satan teaches, so-called Judaism, the duality, where Satan is working for God. God is allowing Satan to do things. Ah, boy. Where did I leave off? Oh, okay. The book of Isaiah 12:14 says, Hebrew letters, Hil bin in Shur. Hil means bright or shining morning star, and means sun, and Shur means dawn or morning star. The bright sun of the morning star is an ironic title. Isaiah attributed to the arrogant Babylonian king, Neglath. I don't know if this is, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but this is what I'm saying. This is the Babylonian king's name. Neglath Palser III, or the third. By the translation into Greek, the translator used the word phosphorus, the shining one, and from the translation in Greek into Latin, the word used was Lucifer. In the Vulgate Bible, Lucifer is spelled without a capital L. It was not intended to be a name, but a title. Let me take a water break before I continue. Uh-oh. I guess all the music is over. So let me restart it.
And the piper dreams in rings of misty white, knowing in his sleep dreams only keep through
You guys have to understand that they do the reverse. Okay? When they talk about love, they're really talking about hate. When they're talking about peace, they're really talking about war. Black is white and white is black. The force, the good side, the bad side, the evil, the good. They don't believe in that. They believe it's all one. Two sides of the same damn coin, duality. Yin and yang. How can I prove it? Look at your Star Wars films, right? Let's go back to the original trilogy. When the Jedis were in control, right? Yet, the Jedis were running shit, but there was mad crime. There was slavery in Tatooine. There was corruption amongst the Jedis. And these are the good guys? Oh, and not to mention the fact that they couldn't get involved. Oh, the Jedis didn't get involved. Slavery on the goddamn planet. Goddamn baby Darth Vader asked fucking Qui-Gon, hey, you're here to save us, right? To free us. Nah, I can't do any of that. I can't get involved in that. Nah. What? What kind of good guys are these? There ain't no difference, y'all. The only difference, they follow the same religion. The only difference is two opposing ways of how to serve and practice that religion. Two different ways to achieve the same goal. But it's all the same shit. In the Lucifer myth and in Christianity's perversion of ancient mythologies, that's right. They believe that Christianity is a perversion of their beliefs. And that is why they hate Christians and Christianity, and that is why they want to eliminate you. It is easy to recognize Aurora, the dawn, dressed in red gowns, who loves to seduce young kings and princes. In the shape of Babylon, the scarlet whore, who courts kings at her tent in the Apocalypse of St. John. The beautiful love-sick woman, a symbol of initiation, was turned into a simple slut by the men of Christianity. In a certain sense, Lucifer can be compared to the daemon of Greek mythology, or the holy guardian angel of the Golden Dawn. Oh! And Aleister Crowley, that's some of a bitch again. I mentioned him yesterday. Aleister Crowley's systems. Aurora is just an ancient symbol of Babylon. Methods and perception of truth changes as the years roll by and the centuries pass. But the Gnosis, what? Gnosis? Gnosis, the Gnosis remains unchanged. What is Gnosis? Knowledge. It is the axle in the wheel. It is the axle in the wheel. In his book 4, Part 3, Chapter 21, Aleister Crowley identifies Awaz, a key deity in the system known as Thelema, as the solar phallic hermetic Lucifer and his own holy guardian angel. The concept of the daemon is further elaborated upon by identifying Satan with Hadit, another key deity, explained from the perspective of the androgyny devil of the Tarot. Baphomet, a reference to Hermes as the Lord of Initiation. The esoteric Luciferian concept can thus, for the individual seeker, be interwoven with the book of the law and the magic doctrines of Thelema. Lucifer's role as an archdevil was adapted by Christians, Satanists, and occultists, but not by Luciferians. We find the archdevil Lucifer represented in works such as the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramlin the Mage, written in 1458. Here he's the aerial crown prince of hell and reigns with Satan, Belial, and Leviathan. Eliphas Levi writes in the 1850s in Dogma et Rituel de la Haute Magie, the great magical agent manifests by 4 kinds of phenomena and has been subjected to the experiments of profane science under 4 names: caloric, light, electricity, magnetism. It has received also the names of the tetragrammetron, tetragram, Inri, Azoth, ether, OD, magnetic fluid, soul of the earth, Lucifer, etc. And it's important to know that good old Supreme Commander Albert Pike, the Supreme Commander of Freemasonry, was a admirer of Eliphas Levi. Okay, a lot of what Pike taught can direct you right back to Levi. Okay, so obviously Pike was reading the works of Eliphas Levi. Decoration in a Roman backyard. 2 of Cups. Oh, okay. It's describing the tarot card of the 2 of Cups. Years later, the famous Freemason Albert Pike, there you go, I told you, mentions the Lucifer of light in his Morals and Dogma from 1871. Writing, Lucifer, the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light, and with its splendors intolerable blinds feeble, sensual, or selfish souls? Doubt it not. The myth of Luciferianism within Freemasonry was fueled further when Leo Taxil Gabriel Jogand Pags made his famous hoax in the late 19th century. Of course, Freemasonry isn't Luciferianism, but the Pike quote illustrates that spiritually interested individuals had seen through the Christian biased view of the bringer of light. So, the author of this is doing 2 things. Number 1, they're saying that the Freemasons ain't real Luciferians, okay? But at the same time, they admit, okay, that Freemasons do see the world the way they see it. And they admit that Pike was studying the teachings of Luciferians. Okay? That is sort of like saying that the Jesus that the Protestants believe in isn't the same Jesus that the Catholics believe in. They have two different views about how that Jesus should be worshipped. But no one says that they're worshiping two different Jesuses, do they? Oh, and they're trying to say that it's a hoax. The hoax of Freemasonry being Luciferianism. It might not be pure Luciferianism the way Eliphas Levi believed in it, but it is an organized version of it. It's an offshoot of it, continuing the philosophy. In 1899, a book surfaced written by Charles G. Leland, claiming to be an old Italian manuscript for witches. It was titled Aradia, or the Gospel of the Witches, and says Diana was the first created before all creation. In her were all things. Out of herself, the first darkness, she divided herself into darkness and light. She was divided. Lucifer, her brother and son, herself and her other half, was the light. And when Diana saw that the light was so beautiful, the light which was her other half, her brother Lucifer, she yearned for it with exceeding great desire, wishing to receive the light again into her darkness, to swallow it up in rapture. In the light, she trembled with desire. This desire was the dawn. If a weak will forbids a human being to publicly explore the mysteries of sexuality in all its aspects, each free man and woman must at least obligate themselves before their God, themselves and their fellow creatures, to do so secretly. It is also my sincere postulate that sin, in its most conventional, simple, and basic form, is nothing less than the royal path to heaven. You see? You see? Bad is good, good is bad. That's why this past year they gave you the sympathetic movie Wicked, where the evil wicked witch, oh, they're going to find the origins of why she became evil, feel sorry for the evil witch. Oh, the other movie where they finally admit that Satan and Santa are one and the same with that big fat fuck. What's his name? The fake Jew? Jack Black. Evil is good, good is evil. We have to be sympathetic to the evil. Sin leads you to heaven. This is what they're saying. Look. It is through the fundamental sin that human beings reach the knowledge of the absolute truth. That is why the serpent is among the holiest of symbols in the world, since the serpent, above all, is the superior representative of sin. And I learned long ago that it's also a symbol of the sun. S-U-N. Oh boy, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it, baby. Okay. Whew. I think I'm going to end it here. There's a lot of it, baby. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll continue with Luciferian conspiracies. Oh, shit. Or maybe I should, you know what? It's not that long, so I think I'm going to go through the Luciferian conspiracies. Even they have conspiracies. Luciferian conspiracies. Oh, and the last bit of beliefs that I read, Who is Lucifer and Why Luciferians, was written by a Reverend Mark V. Agape. See, I give credit where credit is due. If you wrote it, I'm not going to pretend that I made it up. I'm reading. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm reading what they believe. Don't get it twisted. I'm just showing you, I'm telling you, I'm revealing to you what these people believe. Luciferian conspiracies. Is there any such thing as a Luciferian conspiracy? Of course there is. Many people who believe in the freedom of man and the fight against tyrannical thought, schools, censorship, governments, and dictators work in secret to improve society and educate their fellow men. Such people attract other people with similar interests, and they plot and plan against regimes that oppress the population. They're not mentioning that they also put these regimes in powers to begin with. You didn't know that, did you? The same bastards that take them out put them in to begin with, so that they can then take them out. All these things that this person just mentioned, the tyrants, the dictators, the governments, what the hell? Something keeps popping up, y'all. Sorry. They put these things in place to get an end result. And then when they're done, they take it out. Just like National Socialism. National Socialism had a purpose. It was a tool so that the world was sympathetic to the plight of the fake Jews and help them establish their country, state of Israel. A means to an end. Read Hitler's books. Yes, he had more than one. Read Hitler's books where he says that National Socialism is nothing but a means to an end. The end result being the state of Israel. Okay. What is often termed a Luciferian conspiracy on fundamentalist religious sites is none other than an informal contact and sympathy between people who believe in education, unbiased research, nature, preservation, and human rights. There are no central leaders, but the central plan seems clear. Increase freedom and possibilities for humankind and make this world a better place to live. Now you understand what's going on in your schools. The indoctrination that's going on in your schools. These are the motherfucking culprits. This very evil world conspiracy by nature works against fundamentalist religions, as expressed in right-wing Christianity, Islamist fundamentalism, Jewish fundamentalism, Hindu caste systems, oppressing religious observances against women, homosexuals, and with racial issues. Sounds familiar? And many other religions, and of course, in the extreme right, the left-wing political groups and other forms of extremism, where it is believed that a few men are entitled to rule the viewpoint and behavior of all other men. All men have a right to flourish and express their talent to the bettering of the world. In that sense, it is easy to understand why such extreme groups regard information as a threat to their very existence, and therefore, par excellence, evil and dangerous. So yes, there is a Luciferian conspiracy, but the conspirator do not have an exclusive membership card to any one organization. Do you see? Do you understand what they are saying? They're in the left. They're in the right. They're in black groups. They're in white groups. Some are socialists. Some are fascist. They have infiltrated all aspects of our society. Some pretend to be Catholics. Others pretend to be Protestants. Some are celebrities involved in music. Others are involved in the entertainment movie industry. Do you understand? They're all around you. They pretend to be what they're not. All this civil unrest you're seeing in D.C. and throughout this country is being fomented by these bastards on purpose. And you idiots are falling for it. These instigators are going to have you at each other's necks. It's already starting. Oh, God. I believe it is possible to live at home and achieve much happiness there. When one can like the seaman, and Agnetti, clog up one's ears and one's mouth to the rest of the world outside. I think that is what everyone is doing at home, and in the greatest harmony. Do you remember that we spoke of Lucifer at Königsborg Park? Very well. I am convinced thereof that Lucifer is the angel that should have his wings over me. And the only solution for Lucifer was probably the rebel and the casting down to his own realm. In paradise, if he had stayed therein, he would have made out to be a pitiful figure. I was thinking that I should probably explain myself better. What I mean with that symbolic expression, Lucifer, so that it shouldn't be understood as if I am longing for something wildly demonic, or be misunderstood in any other way. I perceive it as meaning truth, or the search for truth, striving towards the light, critique, what one would call spirit, contrary to finding peace in that what one cares for is and should be the highest, yea, to the willed calmness, contentment, and lack of critique in paradise. And that's from letter from Karen Blixen to her brother. Fear, and I quote now, fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Bertrand Russell. That's a quote from Bertrand Russell. Here's another quote. Knowledge is power. Sir Francis Bacon. Well, as I said earlier, my motto is the root of all evil is knowledge. You better believe it. And we're going to end it right there. Put that there to show me where I left off. Whew. There's a lot of it, y'all. There's a lot of it. Right in your face. They telling you what they're doing. They're causing this chaos all around you. Order out of chaos. Till next time. Peace.